The show is about a teacher named Jack Griffin who has kind of fallen from grace. He was a professor at Harvard, and he had grown up in Toledo and kind of made it big time as a philosophy teacher. And then he's fallen from grace, and he's kind of back in Toledo with his tail between his legs, broke, having to take a job teaching high school, and kind of refusing to do so. Refusing to teach, that is. He takes the job and then won't teach the kids, and that's the central conflict in it. Well, I had several unique, eccentric teachers, like everyone probably, and he's kind of a conglomeration of a lot of different quirky teachers. None were anything as extreme as he is. But I think it also comes from the feeling of having grown up in the Midwest in a small town just outside of Toledo, and then working for Saturday Night Live in New York and feeling the flying back and forth for the holidays and everything, and feeling the contrast of those two worlds, and sort of feeling like it would be an interesting character trait to look down on where you come from, but have to be slowly won over by it again. Just because you were fancy for a couple of years, you come back and you look down on it, but then people beat that out of you in those places. Yeah, the cast is fantastic. Glenn Howerton plays Jack, and we knew he could be sort of have an edge to him, play a little bit of a jerk from his years on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which he's fantastic in. And then he's also a Juilliard-trained actor who can take on some of the more subtle, heartwarming moments with the kids. Patton Oswalt plays Principal Durbin, and I've just been a fan of his comedy for a long time. I think he's fantastic in young adult when he's acting, and then hilarious as a stand-up comedian. And so sometimes I tap him for an extra joke or line because he's a really fast writer. He can think of better lines on the fly most of the time than I can think of. And then the three teachers that befriend the lead character, Jack, are Mary, Steph, and Michelle. They're played by Mary Sohn, Lyric Lewis, and Jean Villepique, who are all fantastic. They all come from backgrounds in the Groundlings and Second City, so they can improvise. They kind of play off each other really well and are really loose and funny. And then the kids have all been fantastic. I mean, they're all playing like juniors in high school. So they're young actors, and that, to me, I sometimes associate with not great, but they're actually excellent actors and really easy to work with, fun, kind people. So it's the vibe on set has been the best. It's one of the best environments I've worked in. Yeah, there's this air of unpredictability and almost violence in how he enters. He swerves to miss a cyclist and drives his car directly into the school sign and kind of, literally and symbolically crashing into this sort of peaceful, nice Midwest high school. He gets out of his car and almost gets in a fight with the cyclist, pulling a crowbar out of the back of his car almost without hesitation, like he's always ready for a fist fight. And then that crazy person walks directly into class, still with the crowbar, and throws it on the desk. And so it was, we were playing a little bit with the uncomfortableness of like, is this guy going to, are these kids safe? And but keeping it light enough that you can tell it's a comedy. But yeah, there's supposed to be this edge of like, what is about to happen? What is this year going to be for these guys? And they're just stone-faced and silent for the first 5 minutes of the show or so as they process this guy. And then as the episodes go on, they challenge him and push him in different ways. Yeah, so one of the things this character Jack does every time he enters class is takes his half-eaten apple and tosses it towards the garbage very nonchalantly, and it never makes it. It always bounces off the wall or the floor, and he doesn't acknowledge it, neither do the students. He just plows forward, having made that little mess. I'm really excited for them to kind of discover the layers of this character with us, the main character Jack, as we go, as well as introducing them to a lot of the rest of the cast. I was excited that for being a big NBC sitcom, we were able to cast a lot of people who may not be household names yet, especially the kids who are, just so fantastic, so talented, and I think anytime I've shown it to friends or just in talking to the crew, they all have a different favorite one, and I hope viewers will get into that and fall in love in the same way that we have with these actors. Coach is played by Charlie McCracken, who's a very talented writer and actor. So we initially had hired him as a writer, and then he was doing this character of Coach so funny at the table reads that NBC was like, so that's your guy probably, right? And we didn't even look further. He's just so talented. So he is in the writer's room all day, and then on days like today, he'll run off, get makeup put on, and play the coach. Get his Wisconsin accent up from 50% to 80%, and then he's in character. The mascot, as Paula Pell's character Helen loves to tell people, is named Pam. And Jack points out that if it's a ram, then it should be male. Rams are all male. And Helen points out that Pam is a trans ram. And so it's a very woke mascot.